Well, the Missouri Tigers have ventured away from Columbia 3 times this season. Each time they've come home with a loss. And today's defeat at Kansas State dropped the Tigers below the 500 mark for the first time since the 2004 season. The Tigers had won 5 straight over the Wildcats going into the day, but you know, it's not going to be a good afternoon when this happens. Very first play of the game, James Franklin picked off by Kansas State's Ty Zimmerman. That would lead to this 2-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Colin Klein. 7-0 K-State. 4th and 1 for the Wildcats later in the first on the Tiger 20. They're going to go for it. Klein gets it down to the 10-yard line. They would kick a field goal. 10-0. Grant Russell puts Mizzou on the board with this 32-yarder in the second quarter. 10-3. That was the score at the half. Third quarter, Tigers look like they might get back in this thing. Kip Edwards comes up with the interception, but Russell, he made one, missed 2 of them, including this one from 37 yards away. Kansas State, meanwhile, dominated time of possession, ran the ball a lot today, and Colin Klein had a huge day getting into the end zone. There's his second touchdown. That came in the third quarter. He's going to score again early in the fourth. Third of the afternoon, 24-3, all Wildcats at this point. Tigers finally get going in the fourth quarter. Henry Josie, nice second effort here. He goes in on 4th and goal. Then next possession, Franklin on the keeper. He scores to make it a 24-17 game. The Tigers within a touchdown, but K-State would run out the clock. Cats win at 24-17. Mizzou is 2-3 on the year, 0-2 in the Big 12. The Tigers will host Iowa State on homecoming next Saturday afternoon. Cyclones playing at Baylor tonight. Steele Jantz puts Iowa State on the board with that first quarter touchdown pass, but Robert Griffin would lead the Bears back, hitting Kendall Wright for the score. Griffin over 300 total yards of offense tonight, couple of touchdowns. Baylor beats ISU 49-26. Red River rivalry game in Dallas. Texas and Oklahoma both undefeated going in. This was a one-sided affair. All Sooners. Landry Jones, 3 touchdowns. This one to Kenny Stills. And the Oklahoma defense came up with 3 TDs of its own. DeMontre Hurst takes this interception back for a touchdown. OU blows out Texas 55-17. Speaking of blowouts, Kansas, they'll be on the receiving end of a lot of them this year, losing 70-28 to Oklahoma State. A&M wins a shootout over Texas Tech. In Fulton today, the Westminster Blue Jays back at home welcoming Minnesota Morris. First possession of the game, the visiting Cougars, they snap it way back there. Westminster falls on it in the end zone. A touchdown for Richard Stearns. 7-0. Westminster playing some defense in this one. Kelvin Williams, the interception here. The Blue Jays win it 27-14. They are 5-1. The Lincoln Blue Tigers, oh my, 81-20, losing to Missouri Western. LU 1-5 on the season. Missouri S&T wins at home today. Benedictine beats Central Methodist in Fayette. More sports coming up. The Cardinals get set for an NLCS showdown with the Brewers, while Capital City softball rivals battle for a district championship. We'll show you the highlights after the break. Welcome back. The long losing streak is finally over for the Jefferson City Jays. After 13 consecutive losses to Rockhurst over the last 12 years, JC finally broke through against the Hawklets late last night. Huge crowd at Adkins Stadium watched a great battle between top-ranked Rockhurst and third-ranked JC. They went into overtime, tied at 23. Jared Johnson's touchdown gave the Jays the lead. Rockhurst scored, tied the game up. They went to a second overtime. The Hawklets got the ball first. The Jays defense, though, comes up with the big play. Jack Young, the interception, that set up Jeff City. Ryan Tanner, 30-yard field goal. That is good for the win. The Jays knock off Rockhurst 33-30. They finally get that elusive win against the #1 Hawklets.
You know what? The ranking means something to us at the end of the year. This was a game what we wanted to win, but we also know that the bigger games are to come. So it feels really good. But at the same standpoint, we've got to temper our come back to work tomorrow.
Jays are 7-0. They'll open district play at Troy next Friday night. Go to Leffler's link at connectmidmissouri.com for the complete story on last night's victory. The improbable run continues for the Cardinals. St. Louis will open play in the National League Championship Series tomorrow afternoon in Milwaukee against the rival Brewers. The Redbirds finished off a first-round upset of the Phillies last night. The Cards scored the only run of the game in the first inning. Rafael Furcal led off with a triple. He then scored on the very next batter. Doubled into right. That was Skip Schumacher. Chris Carpenter took it over from there. The Redbird ace threw a 3-hit shutout, knocking out the Phillies, who had won a Major League Best 102 games during the regular season.
The magnitude of this game has been the same as it's been for the last month and a half with our ball club and for me. The magnitude of 2 Wednesdays ago in Houston was an enormous game. If I go out and get shelled and we lose, we have no chance, just like tonight. And we've been dealing with that the whole time.
Cards and Brewers, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's actually should be 3:05 Central Time for Game 1 of the NLCS. Jaime Garcia, Zach Greinke, the pitching matchup there. AL Championship Series, Tigers and the Rangers, they're battling the raindrops in Arlington tonight in the middle of their second rain delay. Texas leads at 3-2. They are in the 5th inning. Capital City softball rivals traveled a half-hour north this afternoon to battle for a district championship. 3rd meeting of the season between Jefferson City and Helias. The Lady Crusaders won the first 2, but this one counted the most, and the Jeff City Jays getting on the board in the 3rd inning. Braley Schulte, the pitcher, helping her own cause with the solo homer. 1-0 Lady Jays. Same inning, it's now 2-0. Make it 3-zip on the Haley Gerber single. That brings in Brooke Rozier. Bottom 4, though. Here comes Helias. Paxton Welch singles up the middle. That scores 2, made it a 3-2 game. Helias would load the bases with 1 out. Shelby LaCure, the line shot, caught at 3rd. Double play. The Lady Jays get out of the inning, and they would go on to win it 3-2. The final. Jefferson City claims the district crown.
You know, the top 4 teams in the district with us, Rockbridge, Hickman, and Helias, it could have gone anybody's direction. Great, and this is a tough district. And, you know, hey, I'm just glad that we're moving on.
The Lady Jays are district champs. They'll host Willard in Class 4 playoff game on Wednesday. Centralia and Southern Boone district champions in Class 3. They will play each other in a playoff game on Wednesday. High school soccer, Southern Boone wins the Fatima tournament. 2 victories today. Mizzou volleyball falling on the road today at Baylor. NASCAR visiting Kansas Speedway this weekend. Columbia native Carl Edwards, the co-leader in the Sprint Cup chase. He will start 2nd tomorrow. He finished 2nd today in the Nationwide Series race. Edwards passed by Brad Keselowski late. Keselowski dominated this one. He gets the victory. Carl 2nd. Again, Edwards starts 2nd tomorrow with Greg Biffle on the pole. And opening night on the ice for the St. Louis Blues, playing the Nashville Predators. Kermit Miller in attendance. Would he bring the Blues good luck? They tied it in the 3rd period. About 7.5 to play. Jason Arnott, his first goal as a Blue, but less than a minute later, Nashville takes the lead for good. Kevin Klein scores. Predators go on to win it 4-2 in St. Louis tonight. Football tomorrow, no game for the Rams. The Chiefs play at Indianapolis, 12 o'clock, right here on KRCG.
Not a good game for Kermit, but he
No.
was up in arms.
He's got some tickets for later in the year, though, so I'm sure he'll see some winners.
There's still some hope. All right, thanks, Tony. We'll be right back.